Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. We talk a lot on the show about the incredible power of AI
Yeah.
and how it's changing the game for businesses of all sizes.
Yeah.
But I think for a lot of business owners, it can still feel
Oh,
like this
absolutely.
mysterious, almost intimidating thing.
Yeah.
Like, how can I, someone who's focused on running my business,
Right.
actually use this technology to my advantage?
Yeah.
And that's what we're diving into today. We're
Yeah.
talking about fine-tuning large language models, or LLMs,
Yeah.
for your business. Now, before you tune out thinking this is way too techy for you, trust me, it's not. Let's break this down.
Yeah. So imagine you've just hired a new intern, right?
Okay.
This intern, they're bright, they're eager, they've read every book imaginable on just about any topic.
Okay, a super intern.
A super intern, they're good at general tasks, research, writing, summarizing, you name it.
So like the perfect entry-level employee.
Yeah, but there's a catch. They don't have any specific experience in your industry.
Ah, I see. So they might not understand the nuances of, say, the handcrafted furniture business.
Exactly. They can tell you about furniture in general, but they wouldn't know the difference between, I don't know, like a mortise and tenon joint and a dovetail joint.
And those are things your customers who are passionate about handcrafted furniture would really care about.
Absolutely. That's where fine-tuning comes in. It's like taking that super intern and sending them to a specialized training program focused entirely on your business and your industry.
So instead of giving them a general business textbook, we're giving them chapters specifically on our company, our products, our process.
Precisely. You're giving them the knowledge they need to become a true expert in your field.
And then they can use that knowledge to help you in so many ways, right?
Oh, absolutely. Answering customer questions with real expertise, maybe writing incredibly targeted marketing copy.
Even helping with design elements based on your specific style.
That's right.
So, okay, I'm starting to get the picture here. But fine-tuning, it sounds pretty complicated. Is this something that's actually achievable for, a regular business?
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely more involved than just using a generic LLM, but it's not this like mystical process. There are clear steps involved, from gathering the right data to training and testing the model.
Walk me through it. Let's say I run a consulting firm, and I want to fine-tune an AI to be an expert in, I don't know, UK immigration law.
Okay, perfect example. So first, you need to gather all the relevant information you can on UK immigration law. Think official guidelines, legal precedents, successful applications.
A massive library,
That's
basically,
it.
specifically on UK immigration.
Exactly. And then you use that library to train the LLM. This is where it really starts to learn the language, the logic, all the nuances of the field.
It's not just memorizing facts, it's
Okay.
understanding the law itself, right?
Precisely. And then you test it rigorously to make sure it's giving you accurate and reliable information. If it's not performing well, you can adjust the training or give it even more data to work with.
That makes sense. But here's a question. What about when the information changes? Like UK immigration law, I imagine it's updated pretty often. Fine-tuning seems like it would be more permanent.
That's a great point, and you're right. For things that are constantly evolving, there's another approach called RAG.
Rag, like an old piece of cloth.
Yeah, exactly. But in this case, it stands for Retrieval-Augmented Generation.
Okay.
Imagine your fine-tuned AI. It has access to this massive, constantly updated library, right?
Okay.
So it's not just relying on its initial training. It can also pull in the latest information from outside sources when it needs to.
So like it has a research assistant who can grab any new document or update right on the spot.
Exactly. That's what makes RG so useful for things like customer support, where policies or product details might change frequently. The AI can always give the most up-to-date answer, even if it wasn't specifically trained on that change.
So to sum it up, fine-tuning gives you deep expertise that's consistent, but RG gives you that flexibility for when things are always changing.
Exactly. And which approach is right for you? Well, that depends on your business and the type of information you're dealing with. But either way, both fine-tuning and RAG offer some really incredible opportunities to transform how your business operates. And, we've been talking about how all of this can be used in a business, but I think it's really important to think about how this applies, especially, to those medium-sized businesses.
Right, because they're not a tiny startup, but they also don't have the same resources as a huge corporation.
Exactly.
So like that RAG thing we were just talking about, being able to access the most updated information, I feel like that would be crucial for them.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine you wouldn't want your sales team out there pitching last year's prices, would you?
Definitely not. Things change so fast these days.
All the time. So, yeah, RAG can be a lifesaver there, but it's not just about keeping up to date. It's about, doing things better and faster and more efficiently overall.
Okay, so more than just not falling behind, it's about getting ahead.
Exactly. Think about your marketing team. They're trying to put together a new campaign. They have to look at all the market trends, what the competitors are doing, all the customer feedback.
Yeah, and that can be incredibly time-consuming.
Absolutely. And especially for a medium-sized business that they probably don't have a huge team to handle all of that.
Resources are stretched thin already.
Exactly. But imagine if you could fine-tune an LLM on all of your past marketing campaigns, on your customer data, on industry best practices, and it could go through all of that information in a fraction of the time.
So like a marketing consultant who knows your business inside and out, but who works at, super speed.
Yeah, and who's available 24/7.
Wow, that would be amazing. So, okay, we've talked about the benefits, but I'm curious, can you give me a specific example? Like, how would a medium-sized business actually use fine-tuning to solve a real problem they might be facing?
Sure. Let's say you have a manufacturing company and they make, I don't know, specialized components for the auto industry. They get these complex orders all the time, with unique specs, really tight deadlines. Right now, they probably have a team that spends hours going through each order, making sure there aren't any errors, making sure it can actually be manufactured.
That sounds incredibly time-consuming and like a lot of room for error.
Oh, absolutely. But imagine now they fine-tune an LLM on their entire order history, their manufacturing blueprints, all the industry standards.
All right.
And now this AI assistant can look at a new order in seconds, flag any potential issues, maybe even suggest the most efficient way to manufacture it.
So like an extra set of eyes, but eyes that have like superhuman attention to detail.
Exactly. And now your team, they can focus on the bigger picture, process improvement, innovation.
I'm sure our listeners are thinking, okay, this all sounds incredible, but where do I even begin?
Well, the first step is to really think about what are those areas in your business where fine-tuning could make the biggest difference? What are the things that are taking up a lot of time, or where errors are costing you money, or that just require a really high level of expertise?
Okay, so things like data analysis, maybe contract review, customer support, maybe even content creation.
Exactly. Once you know where you want to apply it, then you can find a company like 686 that specializes in this and can guide you through the process.
Now, I know some business owners, they might be a little hesitant about all of this.
Oh, yeah.
They might be thinking this is too expensive or I'm not techie enough for this.
Yeah, I understand that hesitation. But the truth is, AI is not some futuristic concept anymore. It's here. And it can be adapted to fit any budget, any level of technical skill. In fact, ignoring AI these days, that's going to be more costly in the long run.
Right, because you can't afford to fall behind your competitors who are embracing this.
Exactly. And when you think about all the benefits we've talked about, increased efficiency, less errors, better decision making, the return on investment for fine-tuning, it can be massive.
So it really sounds like, especially for these medium-sized businesses, fine-tuning can be a way for them to really punch above their weight.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It's kind of leveling the playing field a little bit, right? Giving them access to these powerful tools that, maybe before only these huge companies could really afford to use.
And we've talked about so many examples from marketing to customer service, even to manufacturing. But are there any, like, unexpected ways that businesses are using fine-tuned AI? Like things people might not think of right away?
Oh, absolutely. One area that's starting to really take off is using it for personalized learning and development.
Oh, interesting.
So imagine you have a sales team, right? And they all have different levels of experience, different product knowledge.
Right, some are brand new, some have been there forever.
Exactly. And traditionally, you might have like a one-size-fits-all training program, but we all know that doesn't really work that well.
Yeah, some people are bored because they already know it. Some are lost because they need more basics.
Exactly. But what if you could fine-tune an AI on all of your product documentation, your sales playbooks, recordings of your top performers even?
Okay.
And now it can create a personalized learning path for each person on your team.
So the new person gets a crash course on the essentials. The veteran can really hone in on those advanced techniques.
Exactly. It's all about giving them the right information at the right time to really maximize their learning.
That's incredible. And it's a great example of how this isn't about AI taking over jobs. It's about using AI to make those jobs more engaging, more effective.
Absolutely. It's a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for, less good things. It's really about how we choose to implement it.
And I think it's really exciting to think about all the positive ways it can be used to solve problems, to help businesses grow, to just make our lives a little bit easier.
I agree. I think we're just scratching the surface of what's possible with fine-tuned AI, and I can't wait to see, what the future holds.
And for our listeners who are ready to dive into that future for their own businesses,
Contact 686. They can tell you more, walk you through it step by step, or if you want, do it for you.